Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to another video, and today it's a slightly different format. We're looking at some news, if you like, and it's to do with survival games. My thing, I love survival games, and yesterday PC Gamer came out with the best survival games on PC, and what I thought I'd do is have a look at them, give it some opinions about some of these games that I know so well. I know most of these games, and then maybe talk about the future, what the current state of survival games is, and games they missed out, which they've missed some games out of this list, which quite shocked me. So let's get into it. Let's have a look at it. So the best survival games on PC, and they give a little bit of a blurb at the beginning here, and they're straight into it. So as it is with these days, there's very little text, very little description. But I was really interested to see that most of these games are old, and it was kind of reflecting on this current state of survival games. What is going on with this genre? Well, let's have a look at these games in the first instance. We've got The Long Dark. Now, it's got here release date the 1st of August, and it did. The story mode released, and there's a lot of excitement about it. It's really cool. I haven't had it yet. I haven't played it yet. I've got to download it and get involved and have a look at it. And it's going to answer some of the questions about The Long Dark. But The Long Dark itself is an awesome game, and it's deceptive because it actually was released in 2014 on early access. So this game has been around for a long time. It's stylized. I 100% recommend it. It's so atmospheric, really awesome game. Ark Survival Evolved. Again, this is it's still in early access, and it was released in 2015. Now, a game that has so much fanfare for it. There was so much build up to it, and then nobody could play it because it wasn't optimized, which is funny because Light and Dark is very similar to that at the moment. The new survival game that's just come out that's very much like Ark, and they didn't learn any lessons from Ark's bad experiences in the beginning, so that put a lot of people off because they couldn't play it on their computers. But it's still a really good game, apart from the interface. Arguably, a lot of people complain about the interface. I don't know what you guys think. Don't Starve comes up next. So it's as an old game, and that was released in 2013, so it's been around a long time. A different sort of game, not my type of thing, but I know lots of people speak very highly of it. Duskers, never even heard of this game. I've got a feeling in the back of my mind I might have seen some footage of it at one point, but this doesn't really seem to fit in with this list, if you ask me. This feels like maybe they know the developers. That's what it feels like. So I really don't know. If you've got any experiences playing Duskers, let me know about it, because it doesn't seem like a survival game to me. And then you've got The Division, the expansion, the survival expansion. Again, I was put off by people's comments about The Division, and it's very much a sort of AAA product and not something that I go in for, but I've heard lots of good things about it, and there are some good YouTubers that cover content on this one. So again, not sure about that one. Don't know whether that should actually be in here, because it's largely story driven, most of Division, so who knows. DayZ, of course, DayZ. This is where it all began for me, 2013, and so enjoyed my time in DayZ. I still do, but we're waiting for that big 0.63 update, which I don't know when it's going to come, but I hope it's this year, because everybody's crying. I think deep down people want that, but at the moment there's not a lot of action in DayZ. But again, been around for a long time, like a lot of these other games. Subnautica, really cool game. I love Subnautica. Brought out in 2014. In that prime period, 2014, 2015, lots of really great survival games came out. Everybody was excited to get in, build your big base, explore the world. Really awesome. Again, I recommend it. At times, optimization has been a bit tricky with it. Get in there and have a look at that one. It's really good. Miscreated, love Miscreated. Really great development team, and they've pushed on. Now, Miscreated was 2014, so again, this game has been around for a long time. They've got a much smaller development team than, say, someone like DayZ or The Division, and yet really great looking world. Highly recommend it. Get in there. Lots of action. Very busy servers at the moment. Starbound is actually one of the newest games on this list. 2016. Different sort of perspective. And there's a few games that are like this. So that obviously cater for a particular type of client. Not my type of thing, but again, lots of fun. It's obviously been very successful. Rust is just damn awesome. This was a really early one, 2013, and they've really pushed it in certain directions. They've responded well to people's comments. They've taken zombies out. They've made it a raiding game. Really good combat. When systems don't work, they strip them out and replace them. Really, really good game, Rust. Love it. Minecraft. Again, it almost feels like it shouldn't belong in this genre because it's more of a building game and a kind of narrative game. But they have the survival element in it, and you have to survive. And give it credit, because this was an early release Minecraft, 2011. So that is well ahead of the game. And it's almost as if the survival was kind of tagged on to this great blocky building process. And everybody knows Minecraft. One of my favourite, The Forest, was released in 2014, around about that time, the peak of survival games, if you like. Following on from DayZ, and everybody's seeing the possibilities of what survival games could offer. And I love The Forest because it offers something that no other game offers in this genre. This struggle against cannibals and this intense horror element that can pound you at times. If you get stuck in one of the caves, it's dark and it's grim, and really enjoy The Forest. I highly recommend The Forest to anybody. Now, I don't quite say this word properly. Terraria, I think that's how it's said. It's a bit of a stupid name, but this one has been around since 2011. So again, credit due. This one was setting trends, and it's kind of it's led on to some of these other games like Don't Survive. These more cartoony type games, and not my thing. But I know lots of people get great enjoyment out of these things, so go for it. This one surprised me. Hurt World. Why is Hurt World in this list? Could someone tell me? Now, I've got nothing particularly against it, but when it first came out, it was in a right old state. I mean, it's very much like Rust, and clunky. There wasn't a lot of content. Now, you could argue that some of the other games that came out were like that, but this one didn't seem to offer anything new. So I'd be interested to see what people's opinions are about this one being on the list. And then this War of Mine, very popular. I personally found this one a bit limited, maybe, but looks beautiful. Design is amazing, and this side-on view, something different. So, interesting world as well, black and white, trying to offer something different. I think that's where some of these games that maybe last a bit longer, they're the ones that do it, because they have something different they can offer. H1Z1. Now this, talking about something different to offer, was a classic example of a game that didn't have a kind of basis like DayZ did with Armour. So it thought it could produce what DayZ was, but do it better. But it underestimated the genre, which potentially was declining at the time, and therefore the game, it just wasn't received. But there was a genius moment when they came up with King of the Kill, and lo and behold, that has blossomed, and we now have PUBG and all those games that are kind of a throwback, a kind of discarding from H1Z1 Just Survive, and that has bred that new genre of game, if you like. I personally think there's a lot to come from Just Survive, so I'm following it closely, and you'll see that on my channel. Unturned, I love Unturned. There's some Unturned content on my YouTube channel as well. This game really took what Minecraft was, turned it into survival, mixed it with DayZ, and lo and behold, you have this multiplayer, easy to access, really just jump straight in and play it, and really great game to play. I've always enjoyed playing Minecraft. It makes me laugh. If there's a game that makes me laugh more, this is it. Nothing makes me laugh more than this game. It's so funny the way the characters die and the situations you find yourself in. For those reasons, I really recommend Unturned as well. So, free to play. What more could you ask for? Great game. So, That's the list, but they're all old. There's nothing from 2017. And what this kind of reflects for me is how the genre is dying or going through a real lull. I mean, we've got Light and Dark, and there's a couple of other games that have come out. And it just, I don't know what you guys feel, but it feels like this genre needs to be completely redone. It may be that it needs to go through a lull for a great game to emerge, and it's almost as if it's waiting for DayZ to be launched before it can really pick up again. Because I think that the reappearance of DayZ in a better form may rejuvenate people's interest in this genre. Because let's face it, DayZ, and when it came out, sold millions of units, and it really invigorated this particular genre. But that backbone has been stripped out, and now we're in a situation where games tend to be played and then thrown away, and there's too much of a turnaround. Now, there's a couple of things that are missing from this list. Now, the one that's, I think it's just rude that this one's not in there, but 7 Days to Die should be on this list because it is one of the best survival games around. And it has continuing appeal. It's got a great dev team. There's new updates, new content. They're really determined. I'm talking about new content. I'm talking about, you know, thousands of items that come out with each patch. They really add content, and I think it's a real disgrace that it's not on this list. It's a disgrace. I mean, it is an awesome game, and I'm just surprised that they haven't. It's just an omission. For me, as a survivalist, as a person who's played these games from the beginning, it is a crime that it's not there. So that is a very, very bad thing indeed. Stranded Deep is also not here. That offers a slightly different environment, the island. So that was a real shame not to see it. It should definitely be ahead of Hurt World, no doubt in my mind. And then there's a couple of other ones which tagged on slightly later in 2015. Life is Feudal and Reign of Kings, kind of fantasy, medieval type environments that have had their peaks and then massive dips, following on from the success of some of the other survival games. So they're not there. And then maybe one that could or couldn't be here is Conan Exiles, the most recent 2017 survival game, apart from the Light and Dark and a couple of others that just come out this last week or two. Conan demonstrates that you need to have something different, and they tried it with the kind of ridiculous concept of these huge avatars that would storm and stomp through the land, but it doesn't look as if people have had as much interest in that. Maybe they overestimated how interested people would be in that, and I think you've got to have the initial concept. It's got to be something different. And I've played Conan Exiles quite a bit, and I did enjoy the building, but I didn't feel like it offered much more. And if you look at this list, you could say, well, say The Long Dark, that offers a stylistic approach that really kind of generated an amazing environment, and I never felt that was present in Conan Exiles, for example, or potentially the gameplay, like in DayZ, the realism, the look of the game. Maybe they're striving for that, but I don't think they had it, and it could be something to do with the model design, the character design. I think the character design has a big part to play in how we perceive these particular games. So if you can go into third person, like Miscreate really had to fight to get a better character model and therefore more acceptance, because people couldn't get over how that character moved. So there's very much a feel for realism when you're trying to survive, and it's the immersion. It's that immersion that is so important. So it's great to see that PC Gamer has put out this list, because it does generate interest in a genre which I love, and I feel that is kind of dying or lulling. I don't want to say dying, because I can't see this dying. These games are still developing, they're still in early access, but you can see quite clearly that we've gone through that golden era and we've come out the other side, and now we're wondering what the hell is going to happen next. And hopefully my computer can handle those games, because Dark and Light really has hammered my gaming laptop, and just cannot get content from it at the moment. So I'm waiting for that big moment when they optimize it and a lot more people can get onto the game. And let's not forget that this genre has been hugely supported by a whole range of Twitch streamers like Mr. Moon, Blackout, Jamjar, Thadrius, and a whole bunch of that group who've really pushed it, and they kind of have had their success based upon some of these games. So it gives so much to the PC genre. Let's hope that they can kind of push this up and we can have some more survival games or something different, something that really pulls us into a world and really, you know, really invigorates us. So guys, that's my lowdown on the best survival games on PC by PC Gamer. Hope you found it interesting. If you've got any questions, add them in down below. I just love this subject. I hope you do too. Guys, don't forget, if you haven't subbed already, it'd be awesome if you could. There's tons of content on my YouTube channel and my second YouTube channel, which is linked in the description below. Guys, thanks for watching.